I'm Joe Dombrowski. At my side for the beginning of this broadcast is my teacher, Matt Stryker. Matt, we kick things off with an international three-way matchup. It's the U.S. versus Russia.
Well, it's a cold. Let me ask you something though. Are you xenophobic and can you spell that word?
It starts with an X.
Introducing first, he weighs in at 90 kilos, wrestling out of Moscow, Russia, Sergei White!
Serge White, one of the representatives from Mother Russia, on his way to the ring right now. We saw him debut at IWC on Civil War last month.
He weighs in at 110 pounds, wrestling out of Moscow, Russia as well. He is the current IWF Heavyweight Champion!
Ilya Malkin, no relation to Evgeny.
Or Ilya Kovalchuk, and I understand that Ilya is from Crimea and takes offense to being told that he is from Russia. Are you up on your current events?
I can't spell that one. We saw these men debut as a team last month, and it seems like they're sticking together, even though this matchup is officially a three-way one-fall matchup, originally scheduled to include Zema Ion in the proceedings as well. Zema was injured during the recent TNA television tapings this week in Orlando, Florida.
So the question will be, who will replace Zema Ion, whose name, ironically, also starts with an X. Doesn't it?
No, it doesn't.
It's a Z?
It is a Z.
I'll just be over here.
His former name, Shima Zion, started with an X.
That's
so
what
that
I meant.
I knew that you did.
Thanks for letting me look like a jerk. Usually my girlfriend does that, but I don't have a girlfriend. I'm single, ladies, I swear.
Not a better place to meet people than IWC DVD. But I understand that Serge White did step in for Zema Ion. It was originally going to be Ilya Malkin, Zema, and the Neon Ninja Facade, a very eclectic, unique individual in his own right. We're awaiting his introduction in just a moment from Pedro DeLuca.
You have to be afraid of our country.
Well, that's a universal symbol. Now, if he says it on the back end, what up?
And now we want to sing our national hymn.
National hymn? Stand up.
I'm not going to stand up. Still better than Boris Zukov.
I heard this guy was on Ukrainian Idol.
Well, no respect for the foreigners from the Neon Ninja, the Aerosol Assassin, the Super Indie Samurai Facade, on the way to the ring in just a moment.
Isn't aerosol bad for the ozone layer?
It is.
So is Facade. There he is.
And introducing the final combatant. He weighs in at 195 pounds and he's roaming the streets at night, creeping while you're sleeping. The Neon Ninja, the Aerosol Assassin, the Dreadlock Daredevil, Facade!
Facade, not just a three-time Super Indie champion, chasing a potential other reign through RJ City right now, but also a movie star. Pro Wrestlers vs. Zombies, available right now, featuring Facade and one of his co-stars, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who Facade plays a little bit of homage to there with the graffitied up flag.
Now, I wonder, this is the reason the rest of the world hates the United States, because they look and they see Facade represents an entire nation. I don't know about you, but Facade does not represent my America.
I'm sure we could do a whole other DVD on what Matt Stryker's America is, but be that as it may.
Matt Stryker's America is about family values, core values, and good commentary.
Facade's great with the kids. He loves meeting and greeting all of his fans out here.
It's my opinion that Facade represents the indulgent, ignorant lifestyle of so many Americans. Look at how Facade wears his hair, the colors that he chooses. Honestly, I can see why the Russian tandem of White and Malkin are going to want to end Facade.
Facade is roaming the streets at night, creeping while you're sleeping.
I'm shocked.
He's got that recklessness of life on the streets, but in the ring, the discipline of the Japanese style. He's very, very versatile and is really the most unique athlete I think you'll find in IWC or pretty much anywhere else. He's got two different, really unique sides to him. You're wanting to talk about me being a xenophobe when you're going to judge Facade on his hairstyle.
Well, I'm from the country.
Oh, so it's okay then.
Yeah, of course. It's really just called prejudice then. When you do it domestically, when you have blind domestic hatred.
Fair. That's fair. Well, we'll see how much blind hatred you have towards Bobby Fish a little bit later on in the broadcast. First time ever meeting between two very well-respected tacticians, yourself and Mr. Fish.
Well, I'm just wrestling Bobby Fish for the halibut. If you can think of a better opponent, let me know. These jokes are all wet.
Shell yeah, as we move on forward with Facade in a bit of a popularity contest, no secret.
There you go.
And Malkin from the blind side, Malkin, the IWF champion in Russia, had a title defense against Zima Ion a couple of months ago, and that's what led to Malkin getting the attention along with Serge White to get some opportunities here in U.S. shores.
Now, I understand that Serge's real last name is Pinson, but he had to change it when he came here to the States, so he went with the first color he saw. A French person was waving a flag, he chose white. And if you get that joke, good for you.
I gotta learn what your sources are.
World War II.
Serge to the outside, Facade with a low bridge. Facade was actually a hair away from competing in tonight's main event. It was him and Tony Nese a month ago, roll up by Facade for 2. Him and Tony Nese a month ago for the right to meet a phenomenal AJ Styles. As Facade gets 2 again, Nese narrowly edged out Facade in that exchange. Crossbody gets another near fall. Facade not looking to get paid by the hour, looking to finish this thing up early on.
Yeah, Facade needs to turn around and stop playing to the girls in the crowd. That's my job.
And the question here is, will this be a true three-way matchup, or will the nationalist pride of the Ruskies come into play?
Facade employing some lucha libre. I wonder if the Mexican style will off-put the Russians.
But Malkin, built very thick, very compact, just steamrolled over Facade. And that's how you got to compete against a man like the Neon Ninja. You have to shut him down, you have to ground him, because he's so unpredictable in the air, he will hurt himself to inflict damage upon you.
Well, that's just stupid if you ask me.
That's guts, that's risk, that's heart, that's desire.
Don't look at me like that.
He's a 3-time Super Indie champion. He survived ladder matches, he survived one-night tournaments, he embodies the Super Indie division, unlike RJ City, who's all about sports entertainment.
I survived a 2-year relationship with a bipolar alcoholic. What does that mean for me? Exactly.
I don't think it's going to get you a title shot anytime soon.
Tell your mother I say hi.
Wow. Now an impromptu double team from the Russians on Facade, and very interesting, Matt, that it's a one-fall matchup, so this alliance cannot last forever.
Yeah, you make a great point. What's going to happen as the match wanes on? An opportunity to win is presented. Will White yield to Malkin? Vice versa? Who knows?
Malkin is a singles champion in his homeland. You got to wonder if White maybe feels a little bit jealous of that fact, because Malkin has gotten the bulk of the attention with that championship he holds.
Oh!
Facade sandwiched in between the feet.
That's right. These gentlemen call that move the Molotov cocktail, and now listen.
How did you find all this out? Do you speak Russian?
I just make stuff up.
Okay.
And yes, I do. Da.
Facade trying to fight up to his feet, that martial arts style, but Malkin from behind. You were here, Matt, when Facade survived 2 of the greatest stars in the world today, Colt Cabana and Johnny Gargano, this past December, to earn the Super Indie Championship shot he received a couple of months ago. Came up just short thanks to, as always, the very annoying, obnoxious Justin LeBar and RJ City in tandem, keeping Facade away from that goal.
I happen to like Justin LeBar.
That's only because he paid you to do a show. Check this out, head of steam. of sorts. There we go. Shades of the Three Stooges, perhaps?
This is good, no? This is good, yes? Da? Spasiba.
And now it's White, fireman's carry.
Oh.
And you gotta believe, for both of these men, White and Malkin.
Now here we go.
White goes for the cover, and Malkin detects it, makes that interruption, and now we may see that alliance start to disintegrate.
5 minutes gone by this contest, 5 minutes.
Your clairvoyance has come into play. Now you have an underlying story here. What's going to happen when an opportunity for victory comes into play? Will this work against White and Malkin?
And I think they're having a very heated discussion about that now. Both men know a victory over Facade could propel one of them into this year's Super Indy tournament. Facade certainly a frontrunner for that championship no matter who you talk to. And Facade fighting the odds right now. Those round kicks, those palm strikes. It's Facade against the world, and Malkin shuts down with a hard forearm.
Nice.
Miscue centering. Try to set Facade up one more time, another counter. The Russians coming up empty. Quebrado.
And this is what the IWC crowd has come to know and love. Hook the leg, no.
Facade a half a count away from surviving nearly insurmountable odds. And check out this Meadville crowd. They are pumped, they are jacked. They may have come to see the likes of Bret the Hitman Hart and AJ Styles, but IWC's faithful, showing they are the legends and superstars of the present and future. White now setting things up. Matrix style counter.
Oh!
One felt motion by Facade, and White is on the outside, and that's dangerous territory, and Facade gets that space when that matchup opens up. But Malkin saw it coming.
I just saw a little boy being taken away by his father crying. The kid was wearing a Facade bandana. That's what's going to happen. We're going to have a lot of crying children in a little while.
Very well made. Facade looking to build off of the momentum he set a few weeks ago. He beat Gargano one-on-one. Facade has had the number of some of the best stars in this industry. And now Facade a second time. Looking to fly. This is his wheelhouse. Double spring, look out!
Whoa!
Somersault plancha and Meadville explodes.
Well, Facade needs to capitalize now. The Aryan McCutcheon. Facade needs to get one of his opponents into the ring and end this match.
Yeah, he's got both men neutralized. This is the perfect time to win in a three-way matchup. Facade picks White. Facade's not done yet.
Wow!
Facade is electrifying these fans, and that could do it. No.
You know, I noticed there's a few people in the crowd in their military fatigues. Of course, IWC, a great friend of the United States Armed Forces, and you can see these men with their pride getting behind Facade.
And Facade represents their America, even if it's not your America. But you can't count out the Russians. They've traveled all these thousands of miles for a reason. They're certainly more than good enough to be here. And Facade focusing on White, but I don't think he sees Malkin. Now he does. Hard uppercut, and now White and Malkin turn on one another almost simultaneously. And now the IWF champion perhaps getting a bit lost in this sea of people.
Well, maybe we can find a ping and locate him.
Will Malkin put away his fellow countrymen? White in trouble, but watch Facade.
Oh, wow, wow.
That could do it. Hook of the leg. Again, so close. And now Facade with a dreadlock. No, jackknife pin, my apologies. Looked like he was going for that dreadlock, similar setup. That could have signified the end, but now all three men showing the wear and tear of this match.
And this is where true greatness is tested. When all the cards are down and you have to find the will to win, this separates the men from the boys.
Contest, 10 minutes.
And all three men having trouble standing, but not trouble fighting. You gotta wonder how much luster a lot of those shots have, but nobody backing down.
You notice Malkin holding the back of Facade's head. That makes those forearms hurt even more.
And Facade and Malkin both neutralized White. They would have settled amongst themselves.
Facade reminds me of a Soviet Kevin Steen.
You mean Malkin?
Yes, sorry.
It's a great comparison, too.
Oh, God!
Facade shrugs it off. Springboard with a heel kick. Right to the famed external occipital protuberance.
I hate you.
And now Facade signaling for the end. But the power of Malkin catches Facade.
Go for a cover.
Well, Malkin's smart enough to see White coming from the blind side, but couldn't stop him in time. And 12 minutes or so into this matchup, Matt, we're still almost at a stalemate.
Something's going to have to give at some point.
It may be White. Jeez.
Remember, it only takes 3 seconds to win a wrestling match by pinfall, 1 second by submission, and we could be imminent right now.
That could do it. Yeah, such an awkward landing for White. Lower body bouncing off the ropes. It was head and neck first that absorbed that impact.
There's no good landing inside that ring, my friend. Don't kid yourself.
Facade again, that fancy footwork. Lots of hours upon hours in dojos, perfecting his style. Malkin just gonna overpower him. Ooh. Jeez. Hard collision, hook of the leg, could do it, no. Again, Facade showing the resolve and heart to escape. The battle continues among the Russians. It was just 3 weeks ago, they were making a bid at the IWC tag titles. And there you see Facade sidestep. Malkin hits the corner of that ring post. And now, the Arashikage driver, center of the ring.
Oh, gosh.
White gets drilled. Forget about it.
Here is your winner,
Emphatic victory for Facade against two men who for the bulk of this matchup work together, but the Neon Ninja pulls it off.
Chalk one up for capitalism. I know you were rooting for Marxism, but that's for an entirely different reason.
Facade still chasing that Super Indy Championship. RJ City, will Facade be part of Super Indy? Coming up this June back in our home of court time. With that performance, hard to argue, Facade deserves another run at going coast to coast.